some big festivals announced today for 2023, and you know there's nothing I like to do more than complain about all the boomer bands on festival lineups, and I will do it today. 2 festivals announced: Hellfest over in Europe and Welcome to Rockville, or as I like to call it, Welcome to Rockville. You got to say it like that. Welcome to Rockville. That's how you have to say it. Let's talk about Hellfest first, though. I was going to make the joke. I hope Machine Gun Kelly is playing Hellfest. And then I saw something. I zoomed in and I said, look who is co-headlining the second stage on day 2. It is none other than your man MGK. MGK is playing Hellfest with Behemoth, Venom, Testament, Meshuggah, Catatonia, and the Melvins. MGK, where he belongs. This is like a fever dream. I feel like somebody has been watching my videos and they're like, you know what we got to do? We got to put MGK on this one just so that Finn Mckenty will watch this and make a video about it. We're going to invite him to Hellfest just so he can come backstage and be like, do you see, Finn? We did it. We did it for you. And I'll say, I see. You did it for us, but you didn't just do it for us. You did it for the culture. And then we'll cheers our caffeine-free Diet Cokes, because with the addition of Machine Gun Kelly, they made this officially the best lineup ever. But let's look at who else is on here. Really quick, before we go any further, have you checked out my Patreon? Patrons get early access to all my main channel videos and my podcasts. I also do giveaways sometimes. For example, I just gave away a pair of these Eargasm earplugs. And if you want me to review your music, there's a way to do that as well. All you gotta do is join at the $10 and up level. Then every month I do a call for submissions. If you want me to review something, all you gotta do is drop it in the comments of that post. Then I will review it live on Twitch and post it on Patreon for everyone to see. So if that sounds cool, hit the link in the description of this video, and I appreciate your support. So this is somewhere in France. One thing I like, by the way, is I don't know what this is all about. These look like shitty Elden Ring builds at the top. We've got this man here, the druid with his staff. It's like the meteorite staff, but it's like a plastic hand painted blue, giving the horns. This girl here, at first I thought she had like claws, you know, like Wolverine claws. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But it's not claws at all. It's just some like sticks in a bundle. Got this man over here. It looks like the Tonberry. You know him? Here's a good one. Looking like a Tonberry, carrying his lantern. Lady over here looks like a female Assassin's Creed with her crappy little green noose. And then the guy over here, he doesn't even have a weapon. He just has like a chalice of blood. We need a cactar. I agree. I'd like to see a cactar. That's the lineup of Hellfest. All these crappy Elden Ring builds up here, setting the mood. And on Thursday, we've got Kiss, Hollywood Vampires, King of Hot Dog Rock. For those who don't know what Hot Dog Rock is, you know, I think of a band like Hollywood Vampires. Would I ever want to listen to them? No. But if Hollywood Vampires was playing while I was in line for a hot dog at some festival in August, I'd be like, you know what? This band's okay. I'm all right with this. This is good music to listen to while I wait for a hot dog. Who is Generation Sex? I feel like Generation Sex is going to be somehow even worse than Psycho Stick. I gotta know. Oh God, it's Steve Jones, Billy Idol, Paul Cook, and Tony James. Okay, so it's a bunch of like 60-year-old punk dudes from the 70s. Not Generation X, it's Generation Sex. Get it? God, look at this crowd going bananas. The crowd just can't contain themselves. The energy cannot contain themselves. Wall-to-wall action in the Generation Sex show. The least enthusiastic crowd I've ever seen in my life. Jesus. I mean, I don't blame them. They're getting up there in age. They don't have a lot of energy, probably have some bad knees. I don't blame them for the lack of mobility. But there it is. Okay. Then we've got Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Alter Bridge, and Skid Row. I didn't realize that Sebastian Bach isn't in Skid Row anymore. Apparently he hasn't been in Skid Row for like 25 years. But, you know, I mean, what do you expect? It's Europe. We know that Europe is always a good 5 or 10 years behind the times, but come on. Def Leppard and Motley Crue and Kiss, these bands were washed up when I was in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade in 1992, people. These bands were washed up 30 years ago. How are they still even walking, let alone headlining fests? Disappointing to see. Iron Maiden and Porcupine Tree. I'm not surprised to see Iron Maiden. I'm surprised to see Porcupine Tree this high. They're like a kind of weird progressive rock band. Surprised to see them that high on the lineup, but hey, good for them, I guess. And then Slipknot, Pantera, and Amon Amarth. Pantera, by the way, now the only actual member of Pantera in Pantera is Phil Anselmo. Apparently, Rex got COVID and I guess had to drop off the tour, which sucks. So now it's just Phil with, other people playing Pantera songs. So I kind of wonder how much demand is there going to be for it? When it's really just Phil, we'll see. I don't know. But the real action is on the second stage, main stage O2. Parkway Drive, Architects, and In Flames. So basically, this is new butt rock, right? Parkway Drive, Architects, and In Flames is the butt rock of 2022. Good bands, but all butt rock. Sum 41, MGK and Papa Roach with Motionless in White. I hope that Papa Roach and MGK do a song together to close out the night. That's what I hope. And then we've got the cringy Vakencore Napalm Records stage, Within Temptation, Powerwolf, and Arch Enemy. This is the White Knight stage because Within Temptation and Arch Enemy both have girl singers, right? So that's the White Knight stage where, all the creeps are going to go over there and try to catch Alyssa from Arch Enemy's eye and just let her know how much they respect her as a musician and a human being. And then the comedy stage here, Tenacious D, Incubus, and Electric Callboy with Hailstorm and the Distillers. Glad to see Electric Callboy playing this high on the lineup. They deserve it. Warzone stage, this is the punk stage. Fishbone, all right. I mean, Fishbone's a good band. I suppose it's cool to see them playing. Rancid's a great band. Got nothing but good things to say about Rancid. But this stage is going to be pain. This is going to be all the I was going to say racist Huntington Beach boomer punks, but it's in France. So this will just be like weird racist right-wing European stage with Flogging Molly, Gogo Bordello, Cockney Rejects, and Syndrome 81. I don't know who that is, but it sounds sketchy. A lot of newsboy hats and a lot of right-wing punk dads on that stage, I'm guessing. And then we've got Black Flag, whoever's in Black Flag these days, with Municipal Waste, Straight from the Path, Propane, Soul Glow, and some other. So there's some good hardcore bands. Mind Force, Spirit World, Zulu. It's cool. Some good hardcore bands on that stage. And then Ghost Inside, Rise of the North Star, Amity Affliction, Cane Hill, Paleface. Love the Ghost Inside. Great guys, great band. Very happy to see them playing so high. Rise of the North Star, easily one of the most cringe bands of all time, if not the most cringe. Are you guys familiar with Rise of the North Star? This is like every flavor of cringe combined into one. It's European weeaboos. I think they're German. Are they? No, French. They're French. That's right. French weeaboos cosplaying as New York hardcore dudes. They do a good job of ripping off Marauder riffs. I mean, it's like a blatant ripoff of Master Killer by Marauder. Just, oh my God, look at this. It's the most fucking dorky European thing. I've been making fun of this band for a fucking decade. It's the fucking cringiest shit I have ever heard. So many different flavors of cringe at once. I don't even know where to start. Europe loves it, of course. And then we've got the Door Guy stage here. Someone was talking about Door Guy metal earlier. This is the Vest Metal Door Guy stage because this is the stuff that the guy who works the door at your local venue with the long beard with a lot of gray in it and the cheap black denim vest. This is the shit he listens to. Amen Ra, The Cult, Clutch, and the Melvins, Monster Magnet. This is the Door Guy stage right here. And then we've got, I guess, the real metal stage, I guess, over here. Catatonia, As They Lay Dying, Meshuggah, and Testament, supported by Hypocrisy, Candlemass, Suffocation, Bloodbath, Voivod, Lorna Shore, glad to see them on here, Born of Osiris, Dark Angel, Exodus, Holy Moses. Shout out to all these washed up 80s thrash bands finally getting a payday on this stage over here. Unearth, also there, Candy. So there's some good bands here. And then the black metal stage, I guess you would call it Behemoth, Dark Funeral, Venom, Gorgoroth, and then The Who. This is like the foreign stage, I guess, over here. We've got The Who, Fawn, Fintroll and some other bands. And then over here, I can't read this, something Nephilim. This is the Doom stage, I guess. Paradise Lost, Lord of the Lost. So there we have it. I would say the last stage here, probably the least interesting to me. What I would do if I was over here on this stage, I would just play Spot the Nazi. Anytime you combine black metal with Europe, you know that there's a good likelihood that you're going to see some Nazis. So that is Hellfest. Also announced, I think today, or at least close to today, was Welcome to Rockville from our friends at Danny Wimmer Presents. This May at Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. Welcome to Rockville. Hell yeah, brother. The festival. Day one, we've got Slipknot, Rob Zombie, Queens of the Stone Age. Kind of surprised to see Queens of the Stone Age that high, but, you know, I mean, I guess they, you know, they are dad rock, and this is a dad rock festival. Pucifer, which is Maynard from Tool's weird, shitty novelty band. Trivium, Bullet for My Valentine. Why do I say that? Bullet for My Valentine. Black Veil Brides. I'm glad to see a Black Veil Brides still booked this high. That's cool. Suicidal Tendencies, Avatar, Black Stone Cherry. I don't know who Black Stone Cherry is, but one of the most butt rock names I've ever heard, right? Black Stone Cherry. The new single from Black Stone Cherry. The essence of pure butt rock. Converge and Bandmate. Kind of surprised to see Converge this high. How does it feel that fucking Bandmate is this high? I'm surprised by that. Who are the people at Welcome to Rockville that want to see Bandmate? That was my question. I was surprised by that. But there they are, and some other bands. Day two, Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, if you're gonna have a festival called Welcome to Rockville, you gotta have Avenged Sevenfold on the festival, right? Because you aren't rocking. If you don't have Avenged Sevenfold on your festival does not rock. That's what I think. And then Godsmack, the gods of leather wrist cuffs, tribal tramp stamps, and chunky jewelry. That is Godsmack. And then Alice Cooper with the Pantera reunion, which we talked about. Chevelle, Alter Bridge, Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening, and Knocked Loose. Man, I kind of feel bad for Jason Bonham that he's relegated to now covering his dad's band. So for those who don't know, Jason Bonham is the son of John Bonham, who is the drummer of Led Zeppelin. He used to have a band called Bonham back in the day. I guess he just gave up because people just wanted to hear him cover his dad's band. That kind of sucks, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. Not Bonham. Bonham, but it should be called Bottom. I would like that. I think it'd be cool if his band was just called Bottom. And then Knocked Loose. Pretty cool to see Knocked Loose up there with, you know, Florida butt rock like Alter Bridge and Chevelle. That's cool. We got Rival Sons, Yellow Wolf, Pop Evil, Suicide Silence, Sepultura in the Bronx. Solid. And then the last day, we have Tool, Deftones, and Incubus. I don't want to go anywhere near this stage. This is the stage for everybody who thinks they're at least 50 points smarter than they are. The Dunning-Kruger stage. Let's call it that. The Dunning-Kruger stage. This is the stage for people who are like a 90 IQ that think they're 120 IQ. That's this one. Tool, Deftones, and Incubus. Incubus is a pretty good band, but Tool and Deftones, the epitome of music for people that think they're much smarter than they actually are. Also featuring the Mars Volta and Coheed, two other bands for people who are solidly towards the bottom of the Dunning-Kruger curve. Also Pennywise and Ghostmain. Happy to see Ghostmain continue to get this high on festival lineups, even though he hasn't put out new music in quite a while. Glad to see him up there. And some good TikTok pop punk like Sueco and Nothing Nowhere. Point North, I like them quite a bit. Angel Dust, Deaf Heaven, Anti-Flag, Census Fail, Bob Villain. A solid lineup. And there it is. Let's see how much it is. How much is it to get into Hell Yeah Festival? $275 plus fees for the weekend. I personally, I mean, I guess, shit, with shows being as expensive as they are, I was going to say, fuck that, $275, but You know, it's so expensive now that you could pay $275 just to go to like one show from any of these bands, right? With tickets being as expensive as they are now, any one of these headlining bands, you could pay $275 to see them. So actually, for the whole weekend, it's really not that bad. Would I pay $275? No. But it's really not that bad of a deal. So there we go. Welcome to Rockville and Hellfest. If you want to say hell yeah, brother, in France, you do it over here. If you want to say hell yeah, brother, over here in the United States of America, you do it May 18th, 19th, and 20th and 21st in Daytona Beach, Florida, courtesy of our friends at Danny Wimmer Presents. Get your tickets now.